I don't know if Van Pelt's on hold. I want him to understand he's not the only guy who gets the stars of the game. Just kidding. Is he on hold for real? Okay, I didn't even know he was on hold. Hello, Scott Van Pelt. You there?
Yeah, I mean, I just got done hosting a show for 2 hours. I'm sorry that I wasn't there the second you needed me.
Oh my gosh! Oh my word! No, I wasn't doing that. I hope you're okay. Is everything all right? Are we good?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm shoving a cheese cracker in my face. I was trying to pick up, and for some reason my phone was screwing up. But here I am, thrilled to be here as always. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. How is everything in Augusta? How's everything there, brother? What does it look like? Is it weird?
It's odd.
Yeah.
Yes, odd but still familiar. If that makes any sense. Like it's like if you said, "Hey, we're going to do Christmas and we're going to do it in July," you'd go, "Okay," and then you busted out the tree and the decorations and you wrapped presents and you came down and it was 90 outside and you were opening presents in July. You'd think, well, okay, the tree's familiar, the presents, this is all wonderful. I'm happy to celebrate this. It's just odd because it's not when we typically would do this. So it's strange not having the patrons, as they're referred to here at Augusta National, is really jarring. They are such a huge part of the soul of the place, and the players have all commented it's just so strange, and it will be stranger once the event begins. But just everything else is incredibly familiar. It's immaculate like it always is. It's a huge event. The guys are obviously they're going to do everything that they can to win it.
And what does it look like with turning leaves? What does that look like, Scott? It must look incredible.
It's not as there aren't as they haven't changed as much as say New England, which I know was a long time ago, but you remember fall in New England or where I am now in D.C., where the colors have clearly kind of come and gone. It's not quite like that. There's some trees that have changed. But, I mean, it's still awfully green. And, as I stand here and look out at the practice range, it's more green than it is anything else.
I'm just excited. And I guess, why did they choose middle of November? Did they want to make sure that the course was closed for a while? Or what was it? What is it?
That's part of it. I mean, I think at the time in the spring, the hope was that we'd be out of where we were in terms of COVID. And then actually, now, and I mean, obviously we're testing more and this and that. But, I mean, it's not any better. But I think what it gave the golf course a chance to do is go through the summer and the fall to get it prepared to compete. It'll be different in terms of how it plays. It'll play longer, and then it's going to rain a ton on Thursday, so that's going to make it an issue. But this gave them the best chance to have the golf course as they would have wished it to be to present the event.
Scott Van Pelt here on the Rich Eisen Show, fresh off of the set of coverage for ESPN at Augusta National, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. We spoke to our buddy Tirico on Monday, and he said it's Bryson DeChambeau's week to be talked about, and that by the end of the week, that's all we're going to be talking about. Would you agree with that assessment?
No.
Okay.
No, because he's going to hit it a mile. We know that. And I might look foolish saying that now, but I'll say it because this place, you can hit as far as you want. Great. You're going to have shorter clubs into these greens. Again, great. He's got to put the ball better here, or he will not win. And the last 3 years, statistically, his strokes gained putting, he's dead last. And Andy made the point on the show that I found really interesting, that he is a guy who leans on his putting books and the which kind of are they're basically the template each week on the PGA Tour of what the greens are. They don't have those here. And he's a guy that is really, really has a fascinating mind and uses all the intel and feedback, much the way front offices use analytics. And here it's going to have to be more feel and less information. And so I think maybe that's part of why he hasn't putted particularly well, but also you're allowed to get better. There's nothing to say that he won't putt better this week. My only counter to Mike would be, unless he putts better, he won't win. If he does putt well, then he might win in a walk the way he did it at Winged Foot. But, I mean, he's going to hit the ball places out here if it dries out any that people just won't believe, because it's absurd, some of the things that we're talking about, like driving it over the trees on 13 and hitting a wedge in. Like, that's his play on the par 5.
Yeah, I mean, I asked Mike if there's anyone that he could any holes that he could table par 4. He mentioned the third, and that's about it. But I mean, we're going to just watch him.
Jack Nicklaus, Rich. Jack Nicklaus said that in the right wind conditions that he could drive one. I mean, I stood on one tee yesterday and I contemplated that, and then I walked away. It makes no bleeping sense, man. I can't even fathom that that's possible. But Jack, I defer to Jack when it comes to Augusta National. And
Yes.
He suggested that it won't happen this week because it'll be too wet. But just the fact that we're talking about that. But and I don't want to get too golfy here, but the chairman Fred Ridley said today that we're getting close to a call to arms about how far the golf ball is going. My guess is that very soon here you'll see the ruling bodies do something to limit how far a golf ball goes. Because if they don't, then you're going to run out of real estate for these courses to be played on.
Yeah, I mean that's the question. And just to go down the checklist of what I talked about with Mike. Do we come up with a new phrase right now about if DeChambeau does hit it a ton and tear it up? Is it a Brysonizing the course, or what's the one that Tirico came with? DeChambeau. Do you DeChambeau Augusta National?
You can't. There's only so. Listen, Augusta National has they don't like the term money. So in deference, they have resources, Rich, and the resources they have are unlimited to acquire land around the golf course. But there's only so big you can make this place, and there's nothing you can do, unless the greens are your defense, and they have been the defense against him thus far. But in terms of making it long enough, what are you going to make it 9,000 yards? And no, you can't.
Scott Van Pelt here on the Rich Eisen Show. Who are we not talking about? Who should we be talking about this week? What do you think?
Xander Schauffele. Xander Schauffele's the guy that Andy just picked him on the show. I picked him before I got here. He's finished in the top 10 more than half of the last majors in the last 3 years. He's finished second last year. He's going to win majors, plural. I'm convinced of that. And so at some point it begins. It's just now's as good a time as any. But the thing about this course, Rich, as you know, is that there are so many players who show up and think, oh yeah, like Dustin Johnson, I play well there. John Rahm hasn't played here a lot. He plays well here. Justin Rose, I lost in a playoff there. And then there are all the guys that have won it that show up and think, I can compete. So, and Justin Thomas hasn't won it yet. He's getting better every year. There's so many people, Rich, that come here and if they won, you'd go, sure, of course. And there are so many guys that you think will eventually win, and then some of them, like Ernie Els and Greg Norman and Tom Weiskopf and David Duval, never do. So, it's a place everyone loves, and who's the guy lucky enough to be the guy that plays the best? That's the thing. If I knew on Wednesday, I'd meet you in Vegas and we'd never work a day again.
Yes, indeed. So you like Xander Schauffele out of the top 10 players coming in? I do. You like Xander? Okay. Let's just say
that's my top 10 guy.
Let's just say then if you take a second tier of players from ranking in the world between 11 and 20, and you had that list in front of you because I might have texted you about that earlier, who would you take in that?
And I might have done that homework, and I might have put that list together already and might be prepared to answer.
All right, Scott. Yeah.
All right. And this is just for me to utilize. Let's just say
Matsuyama.
Okay.
Because if you're picking against other people, they won't pick him, and they should. He plays well here. He played well the last event he played. I like Matsuyama from those 11 through 20.
Okay, and let's just say my buddy Chris Brockman decided to put something together where there's a third tier of players as well, between 21 and 32. Who would you choose from that third tier?
Let me give you a guy no one will have from that list because there are a lot of people that you could pick, but take Kokrak at 24, who just won in Vegas and hits the ball a mile. Again, I'm trying to give you some people I don't think others would select because they're not as smart as me.
Jason Kokrak. By the way, if Kilborn,
no one will have that person. You will. No one else will.
I appreciate that. If Kilborn was still doing SportsCenter, it'd be Jason Krakatoa. Right? That's there you go. All right. Tier 4. Let's just keep going down all the tiers between 34 and 45. Who do you think's got a best?
I'll give you the next three without stopping.
Yes.
your next tier, I want you to take a dog, Kevin Kisner. You got to putt it around here. Kisner putts it well, and obviously, like everyone else, loves it. He's played here like 60 times.
Mm-hmm.
Kisner in your 40 tier. Jason Day, I can't believe is available still. This is like when you draft in your fantasy draft, and you look up and someone's still there.
Yeah.
Day is in the 50s, a major champion, way too good to be ranked at that space and still get him. And then, again, no one's going to have my main man, Lanto.
What? Is he on the Mandalorian?
Lanto Griffin.
That's my guy.
What?
He competed well at the PG. Again, I'm trying to give you, because if we're doing like drafts, and everyone's going to have some version of the same thing. But if you have Matsuyama, Kokrak, Kisner, and Lanto, you'll be standing by yourself, and it might be worthless. Like by Thursday night, it might absolutely be worthless.
Yes.
But that's who I scribbled down. Rich.
Lanto Calrissian Griffin.
Right.
There you go.
Hey,
all right.
Watch ESPN Plus. Me and Booker Day.
Oh, man. How is life in D.C.? I know you wanted to move there to be closer to family, Scott, and it was remarkable that ESPN said go for it, and they built you a beautiful set, and your show is just as great as ever. How's that working for you?
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's good. It's you as having kids and dealing with moving and trying to get them adjusted in the world that we're in, and things aren't as easy to meet people. It's challenging, more so than I thought it might be, but I'm home. I'm close to family. Mom, is able to come by anytime she wants, which, is what it's about. And we're in the same studio as Tony and Mike have done PTI for years. And we're Ted Koppel used to host Nightline.
No kidding.
Told me that, and I thought, they should not let me walk in the same place that man worked. And so it's all surreal, driving down familiar streets in D.C., and that's where I am. It's all hard to fathom, but I'm just grateful. I'm grateful we get to do what we do, and grateful to be able to be home to do it.
And then you got I don't want to say the other Tagovailoa, but the second one, crushing it for your alma mater right now, Scott. That's got to be happy.
Yeah, Leah. They were 20-point dogs to Minnesota. They beat them. They were 20-some point dogs to Penn State. They beat them. I don't think that Maryland's beating Ohio State, but nevertheless, it's a couple of wins for Tua's brother, who's pretty good.
Almost happened last year, Scott.
I'm just happy. Look, any game that gets played right now, Rich, I'm celebrating.
Me too.
I'm hoping the NFL can hang on here and keep trudging along, because they've done as great a job as they can trying to handle it all.
Well, Scott, I know that you've been working like crazy. I appreciate you just popping on the phone, and enjoy Augusta. Enjoy that, and enjoy going home to your family. And let's chat around the holidays. I'd love it if you don't mind.
I look forward to that. Be well. I hope this list isn't totally useless, but I actually put thought into it, even though it might appear I didn't.
No, but trust me, when it's the first, we're thrilled that we've been here 6 years, and now that we've got a new home in Peacock, I think it's the first time we've ever heard the name Lanto Griffin, let alone streamed it.
Absolutely.
Simulcast. So I appreciate that.
I'm thrilled to have made history with you here.
Scott, you can just join the pool if you want. It's fine.
No. He's not going to do something like that. This man, he doesn't want to take a bad beat in this one either. Okay, so. Right?
No, that's true. Hey, look, Al Michaels referenced this. It's a good work. That's worldwide, baby. Worldwide.
Take care of yourself, Scott. Enjoy the week. Enjoy it, brother.
Be well.
You got it.
Back to the family, Rich.
Same to you. That's Scott Van Pelt, one of my favorites. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.